What's up, guys? Johnny J's here. Time for episode 3, which nobody watched because it aired at the same time as WWE Night of Champions. So, yeah, I'm gonna do like a little mini, like half review. So, first part's gonna be about Night of Champions, and after that, we'll get into Total Divas. So, let me just pull up my tweets. So just make sure that my predictions were all right. What happened was like I said, for these reviews for Total Divas, they're going to be a little bit late because my new schedule, I work until midnight, and if I'm like super tired, I'm not going to watch it until the next morning, which I did this time because I was watching the pay-per-view. Let's see here. Let me get my results here on the Twitters. I walked in like really late. Basically, like I managed to get off work early so I could watch like the last half of the pay-per-view. So I walked in on Jericho Orton. Let's see here. Where's my prediction tweet? Did it not get sent out? Oh, okay, that's odd. This is super odd. Like I had a prediction tweet like at work, and I was just like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm trying to remember my predictions. So first match was Usos and Golden Stardust. I think I predicted Golden Stardust to win, and they did. Phenomenal match, really good. Which I find funny is that I was trying to remember, like, the Gold Dust gimmick has been around. This is running on year 20, on and off, because Dustin's been he's been himself. He's been Gold Dust. He's been. Let's forget Black Rain and TNA. That was horrible. But man, like he's in the best shape of his life. I realize it's like I get to Google it. Like he's like in his like 50s, like late 50s. Like he's old motherfucker, and he moves better than most young guys. Because let's think, okay, what's the difference between the two? And like Cody is younger than myself and Melanie. Like we're like 31, and he's like not even hit 30 yet. He's like in his still late 20s. Like this is nuts. Like the age difference between these two brothers. Like Dusty got around. Yeah. So Goldust and Stardust are the new tag team champions. Let's see here. Oh, and if you hear loud noises outside, this is the reason why I haven't made any new videos in a while, and why I'm kind of relying on old stuff, because stupid ass construction outside, digging up and putting new pipes down. They've been at this all summer, and like we're at the end of September, they're still not done. So let's see here. Yeah, Sheamus and Cesaro for the U.S. title, fucking phenomenal. Like, beat the shit out of each other, like nice and stiff, and really really high impact match. Sheamus wins. I think I picked Cesaro to win, but yeah, U.S. title really doesn't matter. I did not pick the Miz to win the IC title back, but I completely skipped over this. Free tip for you creatives: do not put celebrity commentators on a pay-per-view. I don't care if you are in Nashville. Rusev wins, lol. We knew it was going to happen. Points to the creative, though, for not having Rusev interrupt the national anthem for Cheap Heat, because, people would have shit all over that, because, WWE crowd's kind of racist. Sorry, I'm saying true. You are kind of racist. Well, it's by design, though. Vince McMahon makes you racist to other people from other countries, and you're all USA. Jericho and Orton was alright. I mean, it was alright. I mean, for something that was thrown together. Oh, I missed Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose return, and Seth Rollins. They did the same exact thing they did at Battleground, which they brawled and they got separated. And the funny thing is that he made an open challenge, and then like Rollins came in on a cab. And then, like, the end, Seth Rollins is like, "How did he even get here? How did he get here?" It's like, motherfucker, it was on the Titantron. You saw him come in a cab. Do you suffer from short-term memory loss? I think so. Where were we now? Okay, so, nice pre-recorded promo for the Divas title where it's all about Paige and not about Nikki Bella. I think WWE's realizing that this Bella thing is not going off as well as we did because we're supposed to be like, the evil twin and doing all this shit and like, yes. But then it turned into like, oh my god, Bray's such a bitch. No, you're not bitch. And then people are just shitting all over it. I love this, like, Nikki, you became #1 contender. Good for you. But your reality is about to come crashing down because I'm the Divas champion and all that. So, BS interviews Brie Bella backstage. And she's just like, I get to live vicariously through AJ and Paige. They get to beat the crap out of Nikki. I'm like, okay, we need to stop and talk about the rules of a triple threat for a second. Brie, you realize that a triple threat match, there are no countouts and there's no disqualifications. Because if there were, like say like you count out somebody, how do you award the win to one of the other two competitors? You can't. Unless it's an ECW three-way dance where it's eliminations. Because then you can eliminate one person and then the other two go at it. This is triple threat. So I'm sending out to you. Like I tweeted out. I was just like, could someone get the word back to Brie that she could theoretically run out and just, brawl with Nikki, send her to the back so that AJ and Paige can battle for the belt and to ensure that she doesn't win it? Common sense. Use common sense, people. Anyways, I will give Nikki credit. She did take some pretty sick bumps. The back body drop off of the apron to the cement. It's pretty sick when the guys do it, and it's even sicker when the girls do it. So props to you. AJ regains the Divas Championship. She's a 2-time Divas Champion. I don't know if her and Paige thing is over. Oh my god. I'm sorry for yawning. It's not because the match was bad. The match was actually pretty entertaining. I don't know if AJ and Paige is done or if AJ is going to move on to Stephanie and then Brie and Nikki will do their thing. Who's to say? We'll have to watch Raw to find out. But Raw is supposed to be the new next generation thing. Then again, I think though that them tweeting out next generation is they're going to have another WWE 2K15 trailer for the Expo and PS4. Because Sting tweeted it, and all of Sting's tweets are very cryptic, but they end up falling flat. Anyway, match. I called DQ finish on the WWE Championship match, and everyone is pissed. Why are you pissed? Like, did you want Brock Lesnar to destroy Cena again? They have to have the Hell in a Cell, and this ending proves it. I'll tell you why. Because Rollins came out, attacked Cena, and then tried to cash in Money in the Bank. And it failed. And then Lesnar laid out Cena. This leaves Brock strong. Because, yeah, he lost by DQ, but he's still the champion. And he almost lost. Almost lost. It's always that doubt in Cena's mind. Did I really beat Lesnar? But there's only one way I can be sure that I can beat Lesnar, and that's Hell in a Cell in 5 weeks. You'll go to Triple H, and he's like, you'll put me in the cell with Lesnar, and then I can get the job done. And then Brock drops the belt to him. Or not. I'm thinking with Roman Reigns out now, I think that WWE is going to take a little bit of their budget, add a little, maybe add a few more numbers to Lesnar's contract, and just be like, we need you to appear more, and we actually need you to start wrestling on Monday nights. Because our younger guys that we're trying to build the future on are dropping like flies. I mean, Roman's out. I don't think Ryback's the future, but Ryback's out. Daniel Bryan's out. You got a bunch of other guys that are out right now. And I tweeted out this. I said they should bring out NXT guys. I mean, Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville and Tyler Breeze, they're already. Tyson Kidd, you can leave him down there. I'm sorry, it's supposed to be room for my Canadian boys and girls, but I mean, Tyson Kidd, he had his shot. And, leave him in NXT, train the future. He's been on TV long enough. Not in any memorable feud. I mean, he was the Hart Dynasty, and then they fired Harry Smith, Bulldog's son. Okay, so that was my quick review. which was 10 minutes long. Let's go Total Divas because this is going to be a short review as well because, again, we got three storylines, and they're kind of all over the place. Like, they didn't have them, like, really all tighten it together. Some of them got resolved quicker than others, and some of them just waited until the end. We open with the Payback pay-per-view and the infamous, you need to surrender the WWE World title or I will fire your wife. And then you get that horrible, like, you can't fire me, I quit! And they're horrible acting. And everyone in the back's like, oh, is she going to slap Stephanie? And I was like, yes, you know. You probably read the script 2 minutes ahead of time. So, yeah, they did the whole, she's like, okay, we're going to write you off TV so you can go home and take care of Brian. And then when you're ready, we'll have a feud with you and Stephanie. Oh, God, I am yawning because of that. No, I'm also yawning because, okay, I'm going to derail from the review a little bit. For some reason, at the end of September here, it's like 20-something plus degrees without warning. I just retired my shorts. I had to pull some shorts out to wear today so I don't fucking melt. And it's like 20 plus degrees out. And we're about ready to retire all the fans, like put the garbage bags over them and put them in the storage closet or whatever for the winter. And then this happens. Like, God, Mother Nature, make up your mind. Okay, so they have the horrible I quit thing, and then they go off. Then they start discussing the future after WWE because Bree's no spring chicken. She's in her 30s now, and you know that's pretty much like the last nail in the coffin as far as being a diva. I mean, as being a male. Now, this is nothing against female wrestlers. I'm just saying that WWE doesn't really like to employ the old. I'm surprised Summer Rae's still there. I'm actually surprised Layla's there. She's in her late 30s. Like, she started late. I know she won a Divas competition, but she started late. But they're talking about life after WWE and then just realizing it's like, hey, we all started wrestling really young and we didn't go to college and get any post-secondary education, so we've got nothing when we're done. And they're like, yeah, we better start thinking about that. So we cut to an Adam Rose Fandango match. Adam Rose with the Rosebuds. Unfortunately, we have to count this match as the WWE wrestler cameo of a guy who's not in Total Divas with Adam Rose because there's nobody else backstage that does anything. Fucking Christ, man. I need to shoot myself with caffeine before I start these, I think. But yeah, this is to bring out the return of Summer Rae, disguised as a Rosebud to attack Layla. I write down here resumes and question. Oh, right, because Bree and Daniel meet up with someone within the Bellas, her mom, as like a job career person, and she asks, like, "What are your skills?" He's like, "I made the yes chant." It's like, yeah, can you support your family on the yes chant? And I'm like, he does sell a shitload of merchandise. Even when they wanted him not to go over with yes and start going no, he still sold a shitload of merchandise. And they're like, oh, did you bring your resumes? It's like, resumes? It's like, I got mine on top of my head. I'm a pro wrestler. Independent contractors. Alright, and we're back to the whole fucking Natalya being catty with Summer and not liking each other. And Rose is just like, I want to give her a second chance because, damn it, people are giving me a second chance even though I'm only hanging out with Daddy. And she's talking about, it's like, oh, I got back from filming the Marine 4, which is like the biggest franchise with WWE. I'm like, I really should check the numbers because I'm pretty sure the Marine 1 with John Cena flopped hard at the box office. And the subsequent sequels were all direct-to-DVD. And I don't see any numbers on there. Apparently, actually, no, the Marine did well as far as rentals go. But guess what? Blockbuster is bankrupt. And the only thing out is now Redbox. So you can't really pull numbers from that. Especially when, like, renting a DVD on a Redbox is, like, what, $2 for a few nights? I mean, they could go on digital sales, but guess what? Everyone's pirating that shit. Nobody wants to pay full price for that. I don't even think it's out yet. Marine 4 is not even out yet. I think it's still in post-production. But I know Ray's back and Miz is back. I'm yawning again. Yeah. Holy fuck, I'm tired. Alright, powering through this. I haven't even seen the Marine one. I haven't seen any of the Marines. Because, like, the second one is with Ted DiBiase. And he's gone. And then you got the 1, 3, and 4 with Miz, and I love how they try to, like, they were turning them heel, and then they're just like, oh wait, you're filming a movie and you've got one already out, the Marine 3, so we need to keep you face. And there was that time he was flip flopping between turning face and heel against Kofi Kingston, and now they're just like, you know what, full blown heel. We'll put Damien Sandow with you, call him Damien Mizdow as his stunt double. Thank God they stopped, burying Sandow with all those stupid gimmicks, and just giving him one stupid gimmick. So we're going back to Daniel Bryan and Brie, and they're talking about getting a bed and breakfast, and talking about, oh, we can, the environment crap they're all about. And the B&B they actually go to, actually not that bad looking. Like, it reminded me of this place. There's this place back where I live, where I used to live and went to school, that we had our, like, after prom party that we rented out, and it was like this big log cabin, like many bedrooms, a hot tub, and I think there was like a bonfire or something. I can't remember what else I did. All I remember is I pulled an all-nighter, and people were surprised that I pulled an all-nighter and wasn't drinking, because for some reason someone in their infinite wisdom decided to get 2 4s of Bud. Bud is the most disgusting beer in the world. I don't care if you guys hate me for hating Bud, but I like Bud Light. Bud Light's fine. Bud by itself is a horrible beer, and you should feel horrible for drinking it. So they're talking about it, and they're saying that it's $800,000 for all that stuff, and they need a deposit. So they talk about getting a loan to put down a down payment, because the down payment apparently is $150,000, and she only has $50,000 to do. So she asked Nicole, it's like, ooh, what if I borrowed the money from you and John? And Nicole's like, yeah, sure, why not? And she admit later on, it's like, you know what, we were drinking a lot, and I don't think that's a good idea now that I'm sober. So she brings it up with John Cena, and he's like, wait, did you tell him I would do this? And she's like, well, I think it's just a good idea. And he just flat out says, like, no. He's like, I got burned by family in the past that says, hey, I got a great idea, I just need money, and then it fails, and then, I don't get the money back. Can totally relate with Cena on this. Lent plenty of money in my time to people that have promised to pay me back, have never paid me back, and I'm no longer friends with them. So, flat out, I don't lend money out to anybody. If you need $1 to go get, like, a can of pop at a machine, sure, I'll swing $1. But if you're, like, in the 20s range, no deal. No deal. Like, if you want me to give you money, you gotta give me collateral now. I need something of yours to hold on to until you give me the money back. Because, like, if you can't give me that back, then I'm selling your shit. So yeah. Okay, so I'm kind of going at times. I'm usually, like, spoiling the whole show, but I'm just gonna try something new here. I'm gonna just go by the storylines. So she's just like, oh God, okay, I'll tell Nicole. It's like, John Cena's like, oh, I'll tell him if you want me to. And she's like, oh, would you? She goes up to Daniel. It's like, yeah, hey, Brian, I'm sorry, I can't lend you the money that Brie asked me for. Oh, okay. Brie, why did you tell John Cena we needed money? He's like, I told him we needed money. It's like, well, you didn't tell me. And then there comes the whole marriage thing and the whole, like, you need to tell when you're spending shit on shit. And they get kind of mad. And so the Bellas go to Wizard World in Philadelphia to call foul on, where the hell was Jason David Frank? This is pretty much his con. He's at every single Wizard World con. You fail, E. You fail, WWE. I want my Green Power Ranger. That's okay. He posts enough on his Facebook. So yeah, they. Oh yeah, she's trying to. Nicole's trying to convince her to go into the real estate business, which I don't really understand. We get the little smoky apology. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you about the money. He's like, yeah, it's our money. And she's like, well, it seemed like a good idea. Drinks. And Dana Barnes like, you don't have any good ideas in drinks. You have Brie mode. And then made the impression when her bachelorette party, like handcuffing him, was like, we put the handcuffs on you. It's like, Nicole, or Nicole. Can you imagine if he said that? Nicole was like, why did you just say my sister's name? God, that reminds me of. I've talked about Luke Robinson plenty of times on other vlogs and in these reviews. A guy who was runner-up in Tough Enough. Right after that, one of his first matches after Tough Enough, he was in a mixed tag match with one of the Bellas against Jerry Lawler and the other Bella, and they kind of swapped. And he went for a kiss, and she made out, but then slapped him. And then the other one came in. He's like, "Did you just kiss my sister?" He's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." Slap. And I think Lawler got the stunner because that's what he does in indies. Don't know why. I guess the crowd would shit on him if he did the fist drop from the top rope. Come on, motherfucker, do a pile driver. Alright, so we're going back. Alright, storyline number 2. Eva Marie is taking her husband John to the family's house. It's the 4th of July party, and he's actually bringing the rest of the family. I think everyone's kind of getting along now, and they're just like, okay, if anyone misses the wedding, just shut up about it because we haven't decided yet if you're converting. It's like, if I'm converting, I ain't converting. It's like, okay, well, just don't mention it. We want to keep everyone happy. I'm like, all right. And when it seems like Eva's brothers are going to be like the nicest guys, it's like, oh, let's go play horseshoes. Oh, I'll show you guys up. You'll show us up. Okay, point blank. Are you converting? Yes or no? Like, dicks. Like, you guys are dicks. So he's just like, we're not talking about it. It's like, oh, we haven't decided. It's like, all right, I'm telling flat, I'm not doing it. He's just like, oh, it's not going to make Pops happy. And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake, just leave it alone. So they all get around the dinner table, and Eva's dad's like, oh, so we're going to go with the Catholic wedding? And everyone's like, oh, John's mom, how do you feel? And she's like, I don't care. She's the most sensible person here. It's like, I don't care. Whatever makes them happy. If they want to go Catholic, go Catholic. If they want to go Christian, go Christian. Doesn't matter. It's all God. It's all the same God, people. God damn it. I hate religion. Yeah, so he was like, if I had my way, we would have a Catholic. And then Dad's like, alright, it's official, it's Catholic. And he's like, John's like, no, motherfucker, I'm not converting. So he gets up and leaves. It's like, I don't want to make a scene, but I'm going to make a scene. And he gets up and leaves. It's like, even if you say I don't want to make a scene, you getting up and leaving is making a scene. I mean, a bigger scene would be him doing a table flip, but that's still making a scene. So he's pissed, and he's just like, I'm your husband, you didn't get my back. And it's like, well, my dad's dying of cancer. It's just like, shut up and be Catholic for one day. And it's like, no. So he goes back to her dad. It's just like, I want to do good by you. And it's just like, look, at the end of the day, you guys are married. It's your life. Whatever you guys do, you'll be happy. You know, mom and dad will be happy. So she goes back to John and like, look, Dad doesn't care anymore. Let's just do whatever we want. And he's like, all right, thanks. Oh, this was driving me nuts. Like, after all this talk about all the Catholic stuff, and he's just like, you know what, just do what you want. It'll make me happy. I'll be happy if you're happy. So that's the end of that one. That one was really quick. They didn't really spend too much time on Eva Marie this episode. Last storyline was what everyone's been touting, the card ride from hell, like they touted last year, was the slap across the face. And apparently Natty's nose is still fucked up, and she's taking the sign of stuff. But she's like trying to beat around the bush, and Summer Rae's calling on her shit and just be like, look, just tell me flat to your face, yes or no. You sniffling and you complaining about your nose. Was it for me hitting you, yes or no? Just man up to it, or woman up to it in this case. And then she dropped something about TJ. It's like, is this why you and TJ had problems? I wasn't aware they still had problems. So Natty pulls off to the side of a dirt road and pulls her shit out and start bitching. It's like, you pulls over like a crazy person around the middle of buttfuck nowhere, and then they get into a cat fight. And He's like, you're getting out. And then Rose is like, I don't need this stress. I just came out of rehab and I paid $20,000 to get bigger boobs and I can't handle this stress. Everyone in the car. We're not talking. Get in the car. So really nothing came up of that. So here's what I gotta call, again, more bullshit on this show. And to the people at my work that were watching this, and it's like, wow, this is really real. This is really happening. I'm like, it's the most written, contrived shit I've seen on the show between Summer and Natty, because if this was real, if you got into a real fight, talent relations would come down on your ass with either suspension or they'd be like, your spot is going to someone else. You're going to be on the dark matches for at least a few months. You need to, as Vince told Triple H after the curtain call, you're going to have to learn to eat. You're going to have to learn to eat shit and like the taste of it. And you're going to have to learn to eat plates and plates and plates of shit. Basically, you're in the undercard for a full year because of this. Because you can't punish Hall and Nash. They're going to WCW. And you can't punish Shawn because he's Vince's golden boy and he has the belt. And, you know, if he doesn't like what you have to do, he'll just take his ball and go home again. Which happens. Nash said it best about Shawn Michaels. It's like, do you think the injury was real? Do you think the loss of smile was like, no, man. It was, you know, Shawn was a teacher. Like to have summers off, you know. He'd wrestle, he'd work hard, he'd get the belt, and he'd get 2 or 3 months off, and and so yeah, then like I said, it really happened. Then they would just pull him off to the side and just be like, okay, you can't be fighting. I mean, Trinity and Naomi had that, or Cameron and Naomi had that fight at the go-kart race in season 1, and they got reprimanded. I think I can't remember if it was by Stephanie. It was by somebody by talent, and they're just like, we're not going to break up the Funkadactyls, but you can't be fighting anymore. No, it was Stephanie came down on Eva because she's like, I can dance, and she couldn't. No one came down on Summer Rae for dancing. Anyways, so yeah, that was it. Oh god, it was kind of hard to watch after watching Night of Champions. So anyway, next week I told Divas. Apparently, we're going back to NXT because Natty will be there for a while. Hopefully, they'll show some of her match against Charlotte, because that was probably the best women match that WWE has ever produced. What I find funny is that, for some reason, NXT Divas don't translate well to the WWE crowd, the real WWE crowd. The Full Sail University people, they get in there for free, and they're loving it. And the women put on really good matches, and then when WWE Divas try to put on equally as good matches, the crowd just doesn't care. I don't know if it's because that crowd's been burnt out by, like those stupid Diva Search segments and bikini contests. I don't know. Like, it sucks. Like, I really want them to do well. Like, I want, when Charlotte finally gets called up, like, I want her to do, like, extremely well. Because, I'm really becoming a fan of NXT. If you guys haven't seen NXT, make sure you get the WWE Network. Honestly, that's worth some of the money, at least, is watching NXT. Because these guys that are in developmental, these guys are phenomenal. They're like killing it every night, and it's just killing me that they're not on the main roster. But we'll wait and see. So yeah, they're gonna show some NXT stuff. I saw a glimpse of Paige, so we'll see. I guess Trinity and John are having baby issues. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember season 2, because you got that metal rod that just didn't let her to have birth control. It's birth control for like 3 years. I think she told him. Yeah, she didn't. He wasn't happy about it, and then they kind of like, oh, whatever, But I guess there's going to be something else that's causing it. I don't know if it's going to be a relapse of that birth control or what, but apparently he gets hot and flips a cardboard box, which looks kind of like a Guitar Hero box or something. And Rosa's hitting on Natty, trying to make out with her in the club and smacking her ass. If this is what's going to cause the TJ divorce, then something's wrong. As I told Divas, and that was also Night of Champions. No double review for you. So yeah, apparently there's this movement on with the hashtag WWE Night of Champions where people were pissed off because of the main event. And it's like, come on, a DQ finish in a title match is not the worst thing in the world. Like, if anyone should be pissed, it's not the people who pay $9.99 a month for the WWE Network. It's the people that paid $54.95 for the pay-per-view. And I love that that's their new marketing point. It's like, hey, you guys who paid the pay-per-view on demand and viewer's choice, you paid almost $60 for this pay-per-view. But you pay $9.99 for 6 months. And that gives you 6 pay-per-views as opposed to, you're getting 6 for the price of 1. So I think that was a kind of an interesting ploy. So I thought it was fine. I mean, pay-per-views have ended in DQ finishes before, and it's not been like the worst thing ever. I mean, would you say that WrestleMania 7 was the worst of all because that ended in a DQ with Sid and Hogan in the main event? I don't think so. I think it was still a pretty good pay-per-view. I mean, you had Bret and Roddy, you had Flair and Macho, which should have been a main event. You had Taker and Jake the Snake. I'm hard pressed to find out what else happened there. I think Road Warriors had a promo because Hawk got caught with drugs, and they're like, "Well, fuck, there goes your Mania payday. We'll bring in Paul Ellering anyway." And the construction is intensifying, which means I should probably end this. So, see you next week for episode 4, guys.